Success is supposed to feel like arrival, a quiet exhale after years of effort, a sense of finally becoming who you were meant to be. But for many high achievers, entrepreneurs, builders, thinkers, success doesn't arrive as peace, it arrives as pressure. At first, ambition feels clean. It gives direction. It gives hunger a name. You wake up early, stay up late, and tell yourself this is what purpose feels like. And for a while, it is. But slowly, something shifts. Not outwardly. Outwardly, things are improving. Inside, something starts tightening, because success doesn't just give rewards. It quietly rewires the nervous system. When achievement becomes identity, rest starts to feel unsafe. Stillness feels like falling behind. Silence feels like irrelevance. And no one talks about that part. Entrepreneurship is often framed as freedom. Be your own boss. Build your dream. Design your life. But psychologically, it can become one of the most demanding environments a mind can inhabit. There is no off switch, no clear finish line, no external authority telling you when you've done enough. So your mind fills the gap with comparison, with future pacing, with fear disguised as motivation. The first hidden cost of success is perpetual self-surveillance. You start monitoring yourself the way a market monitors stocks. Am I growing fast enough? Am I visible enough? Am I still relevant? Your value subtly shifts from who you are to how you're performing. And the danger isn't that you work hard. The danger is that you stop knowing who you are without the work. Achievement gives dopamine. Validation gives dopamine. Progress gives dopamine. But dopamine doesn't create fulfillment. It creates pursuit. So you keep going. Not because you're fulfilled, but because stopping feels like withdrawal. This is where ambition quietly turns into compulsion. You tell yourself you're driven, but deep down, you're being driven by the fear of losing momentum, by the fear of being forgotten, by the fear that without output you disappear. Success trains the mind to associate worth with visibility, and invisibility with danger. That's not motivation, that's survival conditioning. Another hidden cost is identity compression. In the early stages, success expands you. You learn new skills, you grow in confidence, you test your limits. But over time, the identity narrows. You become the founder, the achiever, the strong one, the reliable one, and slowly, other parts of you go quiet. The part that doesn't optimize, the part that doesn't monetize, the part that doesn't perform. Creativity becomes strategic, relationships become scheduled, joy becomes conditional. Even your inner life starts serving the outer goal. This is how people become successful and internally displaced. You're present everywhere except inside yourself. Another cost no one warns you about is emotional flattening. High performers often pride themselves on resilience. They learn to override fatigue, delay emotions, push through discomfort. That skill builds empires. It also builds numbness. When emotions are consistently postponed, the nervous system adapts by dulling them, not selectively, globally. You don't just feel less pain, you feel less joy. You don't crash emotionally, you plateau. And from the outside, it looks like stability. From the inside, it feels like distance. This is why some of the most successful people describe an odd emptiness at the peak. They expected arrival. Instead, they found altitude sickness. Because success doesn't ask if your inner world can sustain the life you're building. It just accelerates. Another rarely discussed cost is the loneliness of upward identity shift. As you grow, your environment often stays the same until it doesn't. Conversations change, relatability shifts, your internal questions deepen while surface interactions remain shallow. You start filtering yourself, not because you're superior, but because you're no longer mirrored, and humans regulate through mirroring. Without it, the psyche feels untethered. So you keep going, hoping the next milestone will feel grounding. But grounding doesn't come from more elevation. It comes from internal alignment. The shadow side of success is that it can teach you to abandon your inner signals in favor of external metrics. You stop asking, "Is this nourishing?" and start asking, "Is this impressive?" You stop listening to fatigue as information and start treating it as weakness. You stop noticing misalignment and start normalizing it as the cost of growth. But the psyche always keeps score. Burnout doesn't arrive suddenly. It accumulates quietly. It's the micro moments where you override yourself. The evenings where you're productive but disconnected. The achievements that feel strangely hollow. Eventually, success asks a question it never asked in the beginning. Who are you without forward motion? And many people don't know how to answer. This isn't an argument against ambition, or entrepreneurship, or growth. It's an invitation to examine why you're moving and what you're sacrificing in the process. True success isn't the absence of struggle. It's the presence of internal coherence. Alignment doesn't mean less drive. It means drive that doesn't consume the driver. Achievement doesn't have to erode the self, but it will if validation replaces values, if productivity replaces presence, if identity replaces awareness. The most powerful shift a high achiever can make isn't scaling outward. It's expanding inward, learning to pause without guilt, to rest without justification, to exist without proving. Because success that costs your nervous system, your relationships, your sense of self, isn't success, it's extraction. The real question isn't how much you can build. It's whether the life you're building still has room for you inside it. So here's the question worth sitting with. If you remove the applause, the metrics, and the identity labels, would the path you're on still feel meaningful to your nervous system, or only to your image?